Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see the thumbnail, what if Issei is son of the bloodthirsty warrior and become blood warrior part 1. But before we start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe to my channel and do like, share, comment. Let's start the video. Issei. Time to get up. Issei mother shouted from downstairs. Ugh. Fine, I am up. Issei yelled back. Issei got out of his bed and went into his bathroom and start his day. His morning routine was him taking a shower, using the toilet, brushing his teeth and fixing himself up. Issei was your average-looking 13-year-old boy. Long but spiky hair, big brown eyes, he was nothing special. Average build and height. He was just about to finish his hair when suddenly. Issei. Breakfast is ready. His dad yelled. I will be downstairs in a minute, Issei yelled back. Issei quickly finished himself, got dressed and ran downstairs. Issei got to the table and sat down to eat his breakfast. So Issei, what do you plan on doing today? Summer is almost over and next thing you know you will back at school. Issei mother said. I planned on meeting Akeno at the playground today, then we planned on going to the mall. Issei replied. Ugh, why do hang around that girl? Issei father asked. Issei's father and Akeno family never really liked each other. The reason was never really clear in Issei's mind on why his father hated Akeno's family so much, but he never really paid much attention to it. She is nice person to be around. It's not like it's a big deal or anything. Issei replied. I just wish you had normal friends for once, Issei's father said. Yay, whatever. Issei replied in sarcastic tone. After breakfast, Issei got up from his seat and walked over to front door to put his shoes on, walked out the front door to meet up with Akeno. Honey, you have to need to get over your intolerance of them, Issei's mother said. You know my family history. You know what my ancestor did to their kind and most of supernatural world. I just hope that crow isn't setting up my son. Issei's father replied. I doubt she is playing our son. If she is, you always have that shotgun hanging the wall. Issei's mother joked. Ha, I would most likely use the sword downstairs, the father replied with a twisted grin on his face.
Issei walked towards the playground thinking about his father hatred. Why does my father hate Akeno's family so much? I don't get. Our mothers get along well, but when our fathers saw each other for first time it was like a fist fight waiting to happen. What does he mean by normal too? Maybe it's just an age thing, I don't know. Issei was at the playground now. He was looking for Akeno when he heard. Get away from me, you creep, a voice screamed in the distance. Issei ran to the voice, he got to where the voice came from and he stood there in rage. There was some old creep trying feel up Akeno. Issei ran at the creep and with the hardest punch he could make, he threw it at the creep. It landed right on jaw. The creep was out before he hit the pavement. Try that again, I will rip you in half, Issei yelled at the man who was still knocked out. Are you alright, Akeno-san? Issei said as he turned towards Akeno.
Ara, I didn't know Issei-kun had such aggressive side to him. Akeno replied. Issei looked at Akeno with a look of confusion. Akeno was a shy girl and had trouble making friends. Even though she was a year older than Issei. She would look up to him and relied on him, which always confused him. Usually when a girl gets saved, she acts all scared and frightened, so why does she look like a porn star who is about to have first experience, Issei thought. Anyway, let's get out here. I don't hang out here when the man comes to, Issei said. I think it is a wonderful idea, Issei-kun, Akeno replied with in a very sensual manner. I can't believe Issei had so much aggression. I wonder what he be when gets older, maybe even the bedroom. Why? What I am thinking, that's just wrong. The strike had much rage and power behind it. I can't help but feel hot when he hit that pervert. Oh my, I might fall for Issei if you keep this side you have, if haven't fallen for him already, Akeno pondered as they walked towards the mall. The day was pretty uneventful after the pervert in park. Issei and Akeno walked around the mall, trying on clothes and enjoying one another company. The day was coming to an end and Issei began walking home Akeno just to make sure no one tried to molest her again. Issei and Akeno were at the front gate of Akeno's home. Well, it was more like a shrine than anything else, but she called her home. Thank you for hang out with me today, Akeno said. No problem, anytime. I really like hang out with you, Akeno-san, Issei replied. Akeno blushed at Issei's kind words. Akeno, get away from him, a man running towards the two. The man running towards Issei and Akeno was Akeno's father Barakiel. The man was huge in height and looked like he could lift the world up on his shoulders and ask for more weight. Barakiel came between the two. Akeno, go inside now, Barakiel demanded. But father, Akeno replied. Now, Barakiel yelled. Akeno did what she was told and walked inside her home without even a goodbye to Issei. Now you listen here, I am telling you to stay away from my daughter. If I ever see you near her again, I will personally send you to hell. I am understood, Barakiel yelled at Issei. Why should I? We like see each other. I don't see the issue here, Issei replied. Barakiel smacked Issei across the face his bare hand. It hit Issei with such impact that he fell on his side. I am understood, Barakiel screamed at the boy. Yes, Issei said in a low tone. Good, now get out of here boy, Barakiel barked at Issei.
Issei got to his feet and began to walk to the direction of his house.
I swear it feels like I'm missing a piece of history when it comes to my family and Akeno's. Why does Akeno's father hate me so much? Why can't my family see I like seeing Akeno? The last friend Irina wasn't even allowed to play in my house anymore when my family discovered that Irina family had strong ties to the local church. Maybe my family hates religion. I don't understand it, Issei pondered.
When he got home, Issei noticed that front door was opened. I wonder why the door is open, Issei said to himself. Boom! Issei was scared out his mind when heard that sound, not from noise but what that noise came from. It was his father's shotgun. Issei ran inside to see what was going on. What Issei saw shook him to the very core. Issei stood there in the front door of his home, the home he grew up in and the home he felt the safest in. No longer did that safe feeling linger anywhere in that home, no longer did that feeling of happiness of being home was there. Issei was shocked, scared, angry and a bunch of emotions at the same time. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Issei tried rubbing his eyes just make sure this wasn't real. Sadly, it was. What Issei was seeing wasn't some sick joke, it what no one should see at any age, especially if at a young age. In front of Issei was his now dead father. He was against the wall, he was slumped over not moving as blood leaked out from the giant hole in his chest. On his left side Issei could see still clutched in his now deceased father's hand was his double-barrel shotgun. It was recently fired as one could see the smoke coming out of one of the barrels. Issei slowly made his way over to his dead father to grab the weapon. Just when Issei grabbed the weapon, a sound was heard in their next room. Issei quickly got a hold of the weapon and made his way over to the next room. Issei looked on in horror as he saw his mother getting raped by some guy. It was at this point when Issei lost it. Issei aimed the shotgun at the man and fired. Boom! Ah fuck! The man screamed. The man fell on his side while attempting to his left arm. The amount of force and how close Issei was to the man, it shredded the man's arm and blew off bits and pieces. Ah fuck, that hurt. You are going to pay for that, you little shit. The man got up on his feet and rushed Issei. The man got to Issei and with his only hand he grabbed the neck of Issei. He picked up Issei and threw him into the floor. The impact from the throw caused Issei to go through the floor. Issei hit the floor below with such an impact that he caused the floor to crack and dent. Ah! Issei screamed. The force of the impact caused him to break a couple of bones. Issei looked at the hole above him. He saw the man grow black wings and he started to float down to him. Issei powered through the pain and started to look for a weapon. Issei saw a handle of sword that was near him but he had to crawl to reach it. Issei started to crawl towards the handle.
Damn, you still alive. What is this family made of? The father put up some sword fight right before I killed him. Same with your mum. I got to say I couldn't pass up an opportunity to spread those legs and have some fun. I really like a woman who plays rough. Too bad she couldn't take the spear to the chest, the man said with a creepy twisted smile. With each word the uttered, Issei rage grew. When the man finished his taunt, Issei wanted to kill him. Kill him, a voice said, kill him. This thing shouldn't be able to breathe anymore. Take the sword and put it through him. Unleash your rage, the voice said. Issei grabbed the handle of the sword and pointed at the man. You are going to defeat a fallen angel with a sword handle. The man taunted. Trust in your rage, it will never steer you wrong. If you want to live another day, rush him with the handle in your hand, the voice said. Issei listened to the voice and rushed the man with handle pointed at the man. Issei closed the distance very quickly. Issei closed eyes as he put the sword handle into the man's chest. Please work, Issei hoped. Ah, the man screamed. Issei opened his eyes. What he saw was sight that he would always remember. In the man's chest was a sword that Issei had never seen before. Issei never had seen a sword up close before, but he has seen them before in books and on TV. This sword was very different for all those swords. The blade wasn't made from metal at all. It looked like it was made from a red plasma. It was wide than a broadsword and the tip had this weird half-moon shape to it. Issei pulled the sword from the man's chest. Issei watched the man fall to the ground and watch him roll around. Fuck, that hurt. Fuck you, kid. Gorgin will kill you. Gorgin yelled. Well done, boy, you down your very first enemy. I must admit you have some potential as my user. Now is not time to spoil your moment. Now finish this crow. Put your sword towards his neck and plunge it into his throat. No, Issei said. What do you mean? No, the voice said with concern. I want this thing to feel it, Issei said with a twisted grin. You really are going to be a great slayer. I am so glad you found me, partner, the voice said. Issei walked over towards Gorgin head. Issei put his foot on Gorgin face. What are you doing? Gorgin tried to say. Issei raised his foot up then stomped on Gorgin face. Ah! Gorgin screamed. Issei raised his foot again, stomped on his face again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Issei stomped on Gorgin so much that his head became a mess of blood and brain. Partner, that was the most beautiful thing that have ever seen, the voice said. Who are you? Issei said. He was exhausted from stomping on Gorgin's head. My name is Demlos. I am what rides inside the Slayer's sword, Demlos said. The Slayer's sword? What's that? Issei said. It's what you are currently holding, partner, Demlos said. So, you are a talking sword, Issei replied. Hardly, I am just not a talking sword, partner. I am what gives you your Slayer powers.
Slayer powers? Issei said confused. It's a long story, but you had an ancestor that fought in the Great War and fought every faction, Demlos replied. Huh, Great War, factions, I don't get it, Issei replied with a confused look on his face. I will explain to you later, right now I sense a demonic presence nearby, be prepared to fight, Demlos said. Fight, I got lucky with this one, if I fight in my condition, Issei said a scared tone. Partner, you are from a bloodline where demons were scared just by uttering your family name, you are part of that bloodline, you are part of a world that only the strong survive, remember partner, trust in your rage, you will never die if you use it, show this demon the true meaning fear and pain, Demlos said trying to boost Issei drive. Really, I can't die if you use my rage, Issei replied. Yes, you have the ability to heal yourself as fight demons and monsters, it's part of your Slayer powers. Alright, let's make this demon my bitch, Issei said with determination in his voice. That's the spurt partner, show him that you are no regular human, show him what really means to be in pain, what it means to feel fear, Demlos getting Issei fired up. Issei walked upstairs to confront the demonic threat. Issei got to the top of stairs, he looked to his right and to his left. Issei spotted his father's shotgun and walked over to pick it up. Issei also spotted the dresser where his father kept the ammo for the cannon. Issei opened up the dresser and picked up some rounds for it. That's when he saw his mum. He walked over to his mum and grabbed her hand. A part of him wanted to cry and act his age, another part wanted to go back downstairs and put more rounds into Gorgon. Issei reached for his mother's eyelids and closed them. When he finished his goodbye to his mum, Issei felt nothing but utter rage, the injustice, how unfair the whole thing was, how sudden it was. With each moment went by the more Issei rage grew. Suddenly he heard a bump upstairs. Issei walked upstairs with the shotgun cocked and ready to put a hole in something. Demlos wasn't active so Issei could fit it his back pocket. As Issei got the top of the stairs he heard a bump in his room. As he got closer to his room, he heard a voice. Where is this kid? I'll have to kill this kid and I can come back to my master and his peerage, the voice said. Sucks to be you, Issei thought. Issei put both barrels towards the door and pulled both triggers. Boom, ah, the demon screamed. The force from Issei's shotgun made Issei's door splinters. Knock, knock, Issei said in sarcastic voice. Ah fuck, you a fucking dead kid, the demon screamed. Issei walked into the room, he looked at the downed demon, he had a giant hole where his chest used to be. Issei was surprised that the demon was alive. Me dead? Oh no, I am not going to die, you however, are certainly going to die, Issei said as walked towards demon reloading his weapon. Wait, let's make a deal, you can have anything you want as long as you let me live, the demon pleaded. How's this for answer, Issei said with a grin on his face as he pointed the weapon at the demon. Why, boom, Issei blew the demon's head clean off. Demlos, Issei said. Yes, partner, Demlos replied. Are all these demons and monsters like this, bloodthirsty and horrific, Issei asked. Not all but a lot are like that. Demons and devils are usually greedy and selfish, fallen angels have some desire that made them fall in the first place. Angels are okay but a lot of them shove the fact that they're the good guys even though that haven't appeared all the much to humans. There are other beasts and monsters that wander around but usually they look out for themselves or each other, at least from what I remember, Demlos replied. Great, this is going to be a fun lifetime, Issei sighed. Issei walked downstairs. When he got to the bottom of stairs, he remembered that he needs a place to stay, then he remembered his aunt. She was on his dad's side and they seemed close. Her mum was a single child. Issei went back upstairs and went into his room to pack up his stuff. After he packed up his stuff, he left his stuff at the front door. Issei ran into the garage and saw his father chainsaw and gas canister. He picked up the chainsaw and left it at the end of the driveway. He went back into the house and started to pour the gasoline everywhere. He grabbed his stuff and looked into building one last time. He flipped a lighter that his mother had and lit the gas. He picked up the chainsaw and began to walk towards the direction of his aunt's house. He walked past Akeno's home and that's when Demlos spoke. Partner, I hate to say this but the house you just walked by I sense fallen angels in there. Don't worry about Demlos, she isn't going harm us, Issei said in a deorest tone. She, Demlos replied. Well at least I understand now why father hated that family, Issei said with low tone. Where are we going partner, Demlos asked. To my aunt's house, she lives out in the country and is very secluded. I got to learn these powers I have Demlos so I need a place to train plus I can't live in the house that my parents just. I understand, partner, Demlos replied. That's when Issei heard a scream. He turned around at Akeno's home. Partner, Demlos asked. That voice, it was no mistaking it, that was Akeno's voice. He ran towards the shrine hoping that he wasn't too late. Issei ran towards the front gate of the shrine. He hoped that Akeno was safe or at least she could keep away from whatever that was trying to harm. Got to the front gate and with all the strength he could gather he threw his body into the metal gate. As soon as he did that it broke apart and allowed Issei to reach to the front door. I should ask Demlos about my powers because I clearly shouldn't be able to that so easily, Issei thought. Yes, super strength is part of your powers, Demlos said. How did you hear me? Issei asked shocked. I can read your mind, it's also how I communicate with you, Demlos replied. So, anything I think, you can see? Issei asked. Yes, Demlos replied. Wonderful, Issei said in a sarcastically. Issei got to the front door of the shrine. He threw the door and the first thing he saw was blood trail on the floor. Issei dropped the chainsaw in his bag at the front door. That left him his shotgun and Demlos. Issei followed the trail to a door that was towards the back. Just as he grabbed the handle, he heard a scream from the other side. "Get away from me and mommy!" Issei threw the door open and what he saw threw him into rage. On the floor was Akeno's mum, motionless body in the center of the room. Right behind her body was Akeno. In front of the two was Guy wearing a mask holding a sword covered in blood. "You are a fallen angel, you cannot be saved by anyone," the man said. Issei cocked both barrels of his shotgun and screamed. "That's where you are dead wrong." Issei pulled both triggers of the weapon. Boom! The man didn't know what hit him. The man flew over Akeno and into the opposite wall. The man was dead before he fell to the ground. Akeno reached out her hand towards Issei's direction. With tears in her eyes she tried to something but her voice was strained due to her screaming. "You came, too," Akeno tried to say. Issei ran over to the scared girl. He threw his arms around her as attempt to comfort the girl. "Shush, Akeno, it's okay, everything is okay now, no one is going to hurt anymore," Issei said in a soothing voice as he stroked her hair. Akeno raised her arms around Issei and clung to him like life depended on it. She cried her eyes for a good 10 minutes. After she finished, she lifted her head and directly looked at Issei. "They attacked because of my wings, I caused this, I hate everything," Akeno tried to say. "Akeno, I could never hate because of what you are, I don't see you as anything else but you," Issei tried to reassure her. "Really Issei?" Akeno said hopefully. "Yes," Issei replied. He hugged her even harder. "Can I live with you?" Akeno asked. Issei was about to tell her about what happened but he heard a very loud noise outside the room. Thanks for watching. Part 1 is over. Hope you all enjoyed. If you like this video please do like, share, comment and subscribe.